Cleveland Guardians designated hitter David Fry suffered multiple fractures on the left side of his face, along with nasal fractures as he was hit in the face with a pitch during last night's game against the Tigers. Guardians say that Fry has been discharged from the hospital and is resting comfortably at home. He will miss 6 to 8 weeks of action. Nationals top the Braves today 4-3. Nats are naming a Red Sox assistant GM Paul Taboni as their new general manager. Brewers and Padres scoreless now in the third in San Diego. Giants head coach Brian Daboll made the quarterback change official. Jackson Dart, the first-round pick, starts against the Chargers in Week 4. Russell Wilson will be the backup. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels practicing on a limited basis today, but no practice for Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Niners quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice. San Francisco held out wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings. Eagles place linebacker Nolan Smith on IR with a triceps injury. Chargers place running back Najee Harris on injured reserve. I'm Dan Byer.
Let's go, buddies. He is I, and I is him. I'm Steve Covino. That is Rich Davis. It's the show that's sweeping the nation.
Yeah, buddy.
And the bathroom floor is after the show, which is just part of the deal. Going to work that out of the next contract. Got Danny G super producing at 877-99 on Fox. He's got that smooth, buttery voice and a buttered biscuit he's eating on air. That's Iowa Sam, the coolest guy in town.
You're like 2 for 2 with bad jokes, huh? Sweeping bathrooms, biscuits. What else you got?
Iowa Sam, Sammy Sweetheart.
Thank you.
Hey, we got Dan Byer with your updates. He's the consummate professional. We got Spot. He's just sitting there. He's on the videos. He's on the videos. YouTube, Covino and Rich FSR, and we be rocking out. Let's go.
You better be careful. He might just put like a permanent dunce hat
Are you serious?
over you on the video.
I'm just messing,
Done a
bro.
little more in the last 5 minutes than you have.
Hey, I'm daring to be different. I'm trying to get people's attention, trying to hook them in.
Let's
just
go.
when they're ready to change the channel, they're thinking, maybe not, because we have lots of fun to talk about today.
Yeah, buddy.
Lots of baseball, lots of football, lots of nonsense.
No diggity, no doubt. And if you're watching on the video, do you like my sweet Keith Hernandez legend shirt?
I was confused because I thought it was my dad.
Just
from the 80s.
it's a shirt my buddy Andy got me. He's like, I thought of you when I saw this. It's 80s Keith Hernandez smoking in the dugout.
Very nice.
The good old days.
Yeah.
When
Is that wild to think that Keith Hernandez used to smoke in the dugout?
Yeah, when that was, I guess, I don't know if that was ever accepted, but they did it anyway. Right now, we're broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and if you miss any of today's show or any of my bad jokes, catch the podcast. Search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcast, and be sure to follow, rate, and review. 5 stars only, because anything less is uncivilized. And like we said, we're streaming live, and you could chat live. Millions of people chiming in, become Fox Sports Radio famous, and say something cool at youtube.com/Covino and Rich FSR, or you could watch it later. Now, later today, not only are we going to have lots of fun, super fun time, but we got Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom, so we're giving away prizes. If you could repeat it verbatim. And, of course...
Did you mean to say repeat it?
He said repeat it.
No, because I was actually just looking at you and telling you to beat it.
Sounds like my weekend plan.
Third bad joke.
And we
What was
also...
that, Spot?
What? Huh? What?
Midweek Major, we do it every Wednesday. The biggest stories in sports and pop culture. Spot's actually getting ready for that. But
No, I'm just sitting here.
it's postseason, ghost season. We're heading into it. And yesterday, some crazy baseball. We're going to talk about the Yankees clinching. But we got to talk about David Fry and what happened to him, because that was scary, dude. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Well-
At first, I was like Dan Byer. Did it hit the bat? That was wild.
Well, the guy we're talking about, David Fry, is the guy that got hit in the face. I don't think the pitch, when you take a look at it, I don't think Skubal went too inside. I think Fry squares around for a bunt, hovers over the plate, and what would normally have been on a regular pitch, a sort of a brushback, when you're squaring around that much in front of the plate, you are exposing yourself. Like, you know when you teach little kids.
He exposed himself to a 99.6 mile per hour fastball to the face.
When you teach little kids how to get out of the way if a ball's coming at you, you know, it's the opposite of squaring up for a bunt. You always tell them to, you know, turn away and let it hit your side or back like you know, like a turtle.
Well, speaking of what you teach to kids, if you're one of those kids that sucked at Little League, you may have never learned that the second you see someone square away for a bunt, you're supposed to throw high and tight.
Yeah.
And that's what Schoolboy was doing. He was doing his job. I agree with Rich. I think he squared away way too far. He leaned into that fastball.
Well, because Schoolboy, you saw his reaction. He felt terrible. And, you know, he's a good man. He, of course, feels empathy and sympathy and all those things. But David Fry was over the plate. He was again, I don't think this is some ridiculous high, tight, would have hit him pitch. It really wouldn't have. I think it would have been inside, ball one.
But so scary to see. Luckily, he's okay. And when I say okay, he has facial fractures. You heard Dan Byer talking about it.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of how bad it could have been, he's okay. 6 to 8 week recovery, and that's great to hear. I know Schoolboy felt terrible. His teammates felt, everybody watching. I felt terrible. But the Guardians pulled it together, and they end up winning 5-2. But let's talk about it. The times you got hit in the face, or maybe you were responsible for it, because we all have stories, and Rich and I share one together, and we'll tell you this unfortunate tale, but it's scary. Sometimes you're never the same. You could talk about Giancarlo Stanton, or you could talk about my buddy Barry. You know, my buddy Barry Bardonando. He was that kid in Little League that got hit in the face, broke his jaw, and then we had to wear those masks for the rest of our Little League career.
You had to wear like a mask in Little League?
Like a plastic guard that went over the helmet.
Oh, Barry ruined it.
Yeah,
for
he
everyone.
sort of ruined that for everybody. He was that kid, and he was infamous, which is more than famous, for that one reason. But we all have those stories, and Rich and I, like I said, we share like a terrible story. But maybe you were punched, maybe you were knocked in the face. We want to hear those stories because I want to know if you saw stars, did you see birds like the cartoons, and how scary it actually is. We can have fun a day later, but at first it was very scary.
Very scary, and even, you know, as scary as the hit in the face, because we know that he's going to recover, right, Dan Byer? Like, he's going to be
6 to 8 weeks, was discharged from the hospital. They say he's resting comfortably, but they were minimally displaced fractures, but there were multiple fractures on the left side of his face and other nasal fractures as well.
Now, I don't wish this upon him or anybody, but he has to be a little apprehensive moving forward, right? There's got to be that PTSD involved of being scared of any high and tight pitch, at least for the next few months. That's scary, man.
Listen, the bummer for him is, he fractured his face and nasal bones and everything.
That's every ball player, everybody's fear.
But I'm saying what sucks for him is that the Cleveland Guardians are on a roll. They are now in first place in a tiebreaker over Detroit. The Tigers have had the most monumental collapse in Major League Baseball history. At one point this year, they had a 15.5-game lead over whoever was in second place at the time. So the Tigers' collapse has taken a backseat to this story today, because right now Cleveland rocks. Cleveland,
aside from this pitch to the face, is fun times in Cleveland again. Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, good times for Cleveland. I feel bad for David Fry. Again, I pull it back to Little League, because she said your buddy Barry got hit in the face. Every kid
broke his jaw.
It is, without a doubt, the most universally accepted. Coach Ballgame would tell you this. Every kid gets hit once in Little League, and for the next week, month, 2 months, maybe the season, are a bit nervous at the plate.
Some kids might not ever recover, and I'm wishing David Fry the best. And I don't know what it is about this particular pitch, because when I saw it, you know, maybe it's the fact that I know he's okay now. I'm able to watch it. There's other injuries, like a broken leg or something.
Oh, we're not going to show that again.
I can't watch that. For some reason, I could watch the ball to the face, as terrible as it was, and that's just a random observation I made. I don't get that weird feeling of, I can't watch. But I have a few stories. One involves...
I would be careful, by the way, with your Google search, balls to the face.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Be careful over there.
I hope I don't get in trouble from HR. I was doing research.
But my point is, every kid has gone through this. I remember I got drilled in the helmet by a kid in Little League throwing heat. And for a good month, I was like, oh, you get scared in the box. And my son, who plays T-ball, it's coach pitch and machine pitch. There was a good month where I had to mentally get my son back in and be like, yo, Benny boy, you're not going to get hit. He got hit in the hand, and his hand swelled up. And every pitch, he did you to bail out. You step out.
You know what's unfortunate about that, Rich, is, what are you, like 60 years old now?
Get out of here.
Even at 65, you remember those kids in Little League that cried when they got hit. You
Yeah.
still remember that.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Maybe not that young. I remember the kids.
do.
I remember the kids that cried when they were like
I
12.
remember the kid just like laying in the batter's box like, oh.
The hard ball was the crazy thing for me because I took one in the stomach playing pickle. So that made me afraid. I didn't make contact my first year of Little League until the last game of the year. We're talking contact, like a foul ball, because I was always pulling out of the batter's box. Completely
It's
scarred.
that front foot. You're pulling out, and every kid, the kid gets hit or gets nervous the whole season. DB, there's kids on my team that will never make contact because they are nervous, like you said, and every at-bat they
you
pull
see
out.
the laces on your face or on your wherever you got hit. You feel that sizzle of the fastball coming in.
Yes.
That's hard to recover from. So we do wish David Fry the best, but it opens up the conversation. I'm glad he's okay. It was a horrible scene, and I did feel for everybody involved last night. And congratulations to the Guardians. But Rich and I had a listener get-together. It was at one of our conventions in New York City. We're in Central Park, New York, beautiful day, hundreds of listeners there, and we had a softball event. Before a big party, we just got together at Central Park. Listeners from all over the country came. We had a big softball game. It's Rich's chance to show off because he thinks he's Mike Piazza. And we had...
By the way, you see him hitting bombs at 57?
Yeah.
Mike Piazza, 57 years
Well,
old.
Piazza always took, like, monster hats.
And that's sort of my swing, too.
Yeah,
I
Rich,
take monster
Rich
hats.
swings, like, for the fence with every
And
swing.
for the record, he's got a good 10-plus years on me.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
But we're having a listener event, and that's important because everyone's just having fun. It's a listener event. We're in Central Park, beautiful day. And some of the women that came to support our show weren't playing. They were just sitting on the sideline. They were just hanging around. And we had a kid at shortstop who listened to the show that was a college baseball player, like a legitimate athlete, really good, in fact. And a ground ball's hit to shortstop. This kid, Doug, scoops it up, and he rifles one to an average first base playing jabroni that was hanging out with us.
Yeah, I mean, he made a great play, throws a bullet. This guy can't scoop it at first. I watched in slow motion as this ball bounced at first base and went about 10 to 15 feet on a fly beyond that and hit one of our female listeners in the jaw.
Square in the face. So here we are at a listener event. We're like, hey, can we get sued for this? Right?
We're in Central Park.
This is horrible. We felt so terrible. The guy that threw the ball, he just threw like a 90-mile-per-hour
Like errant
rocket,
throw.
To first base, and it hits this woman square in the face. And it took all the fun, sucked all the fun out of the day. Everyone's, concerned about the whole thing. Turns out she's okay, but
do you remember, Spot, weren't there was two girls that listened, and they were visiting from Salmon Arm, right, Canada?
Oh, yeah.
I remember being like, yeah, some girl from Salmon Arm got smacked in the face.
Why was she sitting
behind the first base line?
First base? I don't know.
Central
But
Park, I don't
man,
know.
we were like, oh no, we killed our listener. We felt so terrible.
Yeah.
'Cause she went down. It was so scary. So let's share some stories. I got other stories to
And I
tell.
have a
I got
question.
a personal story. Because getting hit in the face, man, you'll never forget it. If your bell's rung like that, look, if you're a fighter, I get it. It's happened.
Yeah.
But if you're not, and you get your bell rung like that, it sticks with you.
Now, there's something very scary about getting hit in the face, and the idea of this dude, David Fry, having broken, some fractures in his face. Remember the story of the wrestler Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
No, but I remember the story of the hippopotamus.
Jeez. The story of Brutus Beefcake, the wrestler. And you learn this if you watch wrestling documentaries, or you remember as a kid, he was parasailing, and someone's knees slammed into his face at full speed, and his face like shattered.
He needed reconstructive surgery
On his whole
or something,
face.
right? Yeah.
They put his face back together based on a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
I
is
asked,
kind of remarkable because he looked relatively handsome. I mean, we interviewed the guy.
Yeah.
You would have never known.
I remember you saying, beefcake for sure.
What a beefcake.
So my question is this. While the face injury is very scary because it's your freaking face, right? It's your face. It's what people look at. It's your face.
Hey, your brain's back there, too.
And your brain's back there, Sam. It's your face. Would you rather get hit in the face? Because the moment is scary, but God willing, you're okay. Would you rather that? Would you rather, what happened to Matthew Stafford the other day? You see that he said he got his huevos crushed? His wife said that on her podcast. She goes, you see there's a clip from the Rams game, and he is down. Oh.
Would you rather get hit in the huevos or
No.
square in the face?
I think the answer is definitely the huevos. But the third.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, thank you.
So Stafford gets crushed in the nutties. The third one, I saw a dude that you and I know, one of our listeners on Long Island, he slipped dropping his kid off from school, and he broke both of his wrists. So for the next months, he can't wipe his butt. Probably he can't eat. He can't do it. Imagine if you break both your hands and wrists.
Man,
That might be the worst.
guy's gonna have some lonely nights.
It's true.
So
You need your hands
yeah,
for
you do.
everything.
For everything.
So while this
Everything.
is a terrible thing, is there anything worse than getting hit in the face?
Maybe the huevos. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. I've never taken a vicious shot, but I have been punched in the face a few times. And again, like I said, you never forget it because it's like a movie. It's a pa, pa. Your head goes back. You're like, did that just happen? Because if you don't get knocked out, you're aware of what happened. It's a weird feeling.
I
right?
remember
Like,
we
some
were
people
at
get-
a party in Manhattan at a club.
Yeah.
And I remember some dude was hitting on Covino's girlfriend. And I'm going to paint the picture accurately. Covino wasn't being some blowhard, like, what are you doing?
Not at all. It was a work event.
It was
I was
work.
working.
Yeah, it was. We were hosting a thing. And Covino said something very polite, like, hey, man, you got good taste, but she's my girl. Have a great night. Like something very polite. The guy's like, oh, yeah? And I saw this guy.
Shazam.
Bam!
My
Punch
head.
Covino in the face.
No, not once. Because you sit there in shock. Like, your hair goes back. Poof, right? Look at this guy. He hits me again. Boom. It's like when
Let's see the slow-mo replay
it's like
of that.
who's the principal in Ferris Bueller? Spot. What's his name? Principal
Ed Rooney.
Ed Rooney. Yeah. It's like when Ed Rooney gets kicked in the face. It was like that.
I was thinking, do you remember?
And you're sitting here, you're like so shocked, and you're
Do you,
hurt.
do you remember the scene when they're reenacting like a dream scene in Dumb and Dumber, and Jim Carrey
Yes.
pops back up and he wipes his mouth and goes, eh?
Yeah.
And he just
He starts doing the speed bag on the guy's huevos.
Honestly, Sam, I'm not bragging. I'm not like this fighting kind of guy. But the fact that he didn't knock me out put me in that zone of attack mode. Like he didn't get. I'm not getting punched again, and that's what happened at that point.
And I remember in that moment, like bouncers and everyone jumped in, and people got like sort of escorted out of the bar. Covino didn't get in trouble or
I
anything.
did a ground and pound
Because
after
Covino did nothing wrong.
No, not at all.
And I
People
just
saw it.
And all I remember was Covino being so mad because the girl he was dating at the time was less concerned about him getting punched. And she's like, I lost one of my shoes in the club. And she had one shoe
lost
on.
the shoe. It was a melee.
And she was, Covino's like, but I got punched in the face. She's like, but my shoe. I
Yeah.
love that shoe.
I was bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
So your stories, and
Shazam!
again, we say it respectfully because we wish David Fry all the best, but it got us
course.
thinking about
But
those scary moments.
getting hit in the face is one of the top, if not the top, a top level. Like, oh no.
And we get it. Some people make a living out of doing that. Nobody loves a fight more than us. But when you get punched in the face, it's a different story, especially when you're not looking for it or hit in the face. So your stories.
And speaking of getting hit in the face, I'm sure we'll mention it at some point, but they came out with the rules for that Jake Paul Tank Davis fight, and we talked about how Jake Paul twice his size, 12-ounce gloves, which isn't as puffy as we thought. So
Maximum weight limit of 195 for that fight.
Geez,
So I don't know how big Tank could actually get.
So, I mean, listen, we pay pay-per-view money, and we love watching people fight, but when it's a regular guy getting hit in the face, My goodness, how scary is that? What's scarier, that or when you see a pitcher get hit with a line drive coming back? To me, that there's something real alarming about. Like
brutal, man.
Right? It's like,
it is. It's brutal.
Yeah, yesterday, comebacker to Ohtani, and he was. Everyone ran out, of course, worried, and that's what you worry about with Shohei is him getting hit by a batter hitting the pitch back to him, and it was his glove hand, and he shook it off. He wound up being okay, but
there's a couple guys in my men's softball league that at first I sort of laughed at a little bit, like, why is this guy wearing a mask, right? Like a little pull-on mask,
like a Ronald Reagan mask.
4 great jokes today for you.
I'm on a roll. I'm one of the kings of comedy.
A couple of these, like a pitcher would wear a mask. I'm like, are we doing this? And I was told the story of, like, I guess like before I started playing and moved out here, there was a story where, men's slow pitch softball. There's guys that are 30,
That's
40 years old that
dude.
swing
You're
hard, right?
Sitting duck. You're just tossing a little baby softball, meatball for some big fat burly guy. Mark Burley's there to hit a 100-mile-per-hour rocket right back at you.
There's guys
defenseless.
You've seen videos on Instagram of some of these baller softball players. There was a guy that hit a ball back and knocked the dude in the head unconscious, and people are like, oh my God, is he dead?
Yeah,
he was fine.
Dude, I don't
He
like
was
that.
concussed and everything, but I saw a guy break his wrist in softball. You can't guard that, but I saw a guy throw sort of a cookie, guy rip one back. I heard his wrist. So
that high arc pitching, you can hit it on a rope.
No, yeah.
If you time it perfectly, man, you could rope it down third baseline or at the pitcher's head, unfortunately.
So, scary moment.
So hopefully David Fry will
by the way,
not be that affected. Maybe
side observation, though, Schoolball had like the weirdest, weakest inning ever. It was like a bunch of just circus events. That terrible play he made between his legs, that weird play.
Everything went wrong.
Everything went wrong for him that inning. The whole thing was
you
just
could say
really
everything
weird.
goes wrong for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a bad inning.
Oh, boy. All right, well, hey, your thoughts. We got all the phones going, so we'll take your feedback next. You ever get hit in the face? David Fry style. Luckily, he seems like he'll be all good. So
How did he recover, too?
We'll talk a little baseball and, of course, NFL. I can't believe we're getting into week 4 already. Tomorrow night, we kick off. Again, after this week, we're going to be essentially a 4th through the season, which just shows you time is flying, my friends. Last Wednesday in September. So we got more Covino and Rich. We'll take all your feedback and phone calls next. Hit in the face here on Covino and Rich.
If you're looking for a new way to hire and manage your workforce, Express Employment Professionals make it easy. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, being ghosted, interviews with unqualified applicants. Move up to the pros, expresspros.com.
Express is your full-service workforce solution, connecting you with top talent fast every
I'm a
day.
man. I'm fired.
Express recruits and screens a variety of workers in your area, so when it's time to hire, they got the talent you need ready to go to work. A contract workforce through Express could help you manage contingent labor costs and provide the people you need to meet your current demands.
And if you need full-time employees, Express can recruit for you. Express Employment Pros helps tens of thousands of companies find workers, saving business time and increasing flexibility. Find your nearest location at expresspros.com.
Each of the 870 locations locally owned and operated, backed by the support of an international headquarters. So again, we know we know hiring is stressful. Stop the hassles. Stop the hops. Partner with Express. Go to expresspros.com. Find the location near you.
Next year begins the robot era. Robot era begins.
Ooh,
Happy
that's
birthday,
a strike.
Paulie.
Strike 3.
Is
You're out.
Is it the robot from Rocky 4? Happy birthday, Paulie.
No, man. It's awesome. MLB is going to implement the automated ball strike challenge system in 2026. after the league's competition committee approved robot umpiring.
Well, let me tell
Human
you.
umpires obviously will
course.
call every pitch, so you're still going to have the human element, so don't be crying about
But
it.
I think
They're not taking our jobs.
But I think there's some idiots that just read a headline because I've already seen people saying like, "Man, no more umps." It's like, no, buffoons, umps.
Teams can appeal 2 calls per game to ABS.
They didn't take our advice, Rich.
I said,
Strike 3.
make it a third, right? If you
If you get the first 2 right, they should have give you a third.
But you know what, Danny G? We saw it executed in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game this year.
Yeah, it worked.
Edwin Diaz was on the hill for the NL. He thought he cut the corner on a third strike. He did a quick tap of the hat within 3 seconds. Boop, boop, boop,
I
boop,
think
boop.
it takes
strike
up
3.
to 13 seconds is what I heard. But, I mean, it feels very quick. And what is really cool about it is that it's very interactive. During the All-Star experience, we all saw, like, oh, it was a strike. Like, it goes right to the screen. You're there. You get to be part of the process at the game and on TV because you're seeing
bro,
it. And if you could see it, they got to get it right.
There is
plain
a
and simple.
great strategy also involved. Where do you use these challenges? If it's the first inning and there's 2 outs, no one on, is your guy going to be like, no, tap, tap, tap? Like, you might want to save
It's actually,
these.
the technical term is rap, tap, tappy.
Oh, if you want to do a little rap, tap, tappy, rap, tap, tappy, rap, tap, tappy.
You have to get a little come
on the kick drum.
Come
Little
on the kick drum.
on the kick drum.
And a rap, tap, tappy.
So I think this is great. And
You kidding me? Innovate or die. This is the next step into getting it right and helping the game move along. Some people, like
keeping
Big Mike,
keeping a human layer to this, right?
Mike is like, forget the human layer. And maybe, we're getting to that eventually because
Who?
I'm a fan of the human layer as well.
You know, Big Mike who runs this
But
place?
Mike was like, yo, man,
Never
speed
heard
it
of
up
him.
all the way.
No,
Speed it up.
Big Mike actually said, self-checkout everywhere. I want people to lose their jobs, I believe is a Big Mike
The
said.
rules are simple. ABS challenge rules. Each team gets 2 challenges and can keep them if they're successful. Challenges can only be initiated by a pitcher, catcher, or a batter. No belly itchers, Rich. Pitchers,
Okay,
not
pitchers,
belly
okay.
itchers. And the request must come right after the pitch. To signal a challenge, the pitcher, or catcher, or batter taps his hat or helmet to the umpire. No help from the dugout, which was weird to me because that's obvious, but with all the ways they communicate from dugout to catcher and everything else, there's no way.
If
How are
everyone's
they gonna
saying,
implement that
saying
rule?
challenge,
Right.
then you're going to do it.
How are they going to implement that rule?
Dan Byer, I'm not a man that listens to everything Rob Manfred in baseball says, but I really feel like everything from the pitch clock to the bases to the man on second and extra innings, which I thought I wouldn't like, all these things I feel like have been good for baseball. Are you opposed as a traditionalist or no?
No, I'm not opposed. I do think that we are so focused on the robot aspect of it that I think we need to develop like a character, like a cartoon, like a caricature of like a judge who will then hand down the ruling on if it was a ball or strike. Make that guy a character throughout all 30 ballparks.
What if the local mascot appears? Like it could be Mr. Met or Bernie the Brewer or anyone comes out and they come out with like a green or red flag.
I
like
was
the guy-
thinking like Judge Doubleday, you know, that works like with the history, and then it's this animated feature, and then he comes down and he hits his gavel with a ruling, and it's ball, like that. All 30 stadiums, uniform, yes, something like that, like you're out. I think that would be great. We're very focused on the robot, but I think we need to do it like branch out in that way.
So one of the headlines
it's
was the robot era begins or something like that. That's what they're calling it. And I just think that it proves that baseball's headed in the right direction. You get a little compromise of human element, but moving toward the future, getting it right is the priority. Anyone that doesn't like it, I think, is sort of off the mark.
I do. I agree with that. I feel like the NBA, the NFL, other organizations have, for the most part, I feel like the only misstep with a rule change, and we all agreed, was, remember the pass interference challenge, and it was just so subjective. And I think we all agreed, like, all right, it was a good idea, but on any given play, you could be like, well, did he tug his jersey like a tad? Like, we figure these things out as a collective, and I think who's going to argue the game's sped up, game's exciting, baseball attendance is up, viewership is up.
It's interactive.
They got young star players now. Who's going to oppose 2 times a game for 10 seconds? Yo, it was 2-2, bottom of the 6th. Yo, that was outside. Challenge. No, dude, it caught the corner. Strike 3.
Especially in a big moment, right? You want to get it right. Shout out to Dane Cook. You think he listens?
I love Dane. I love the Dane train.
Remember he say, got punched in the face.
In the face.
In the face. Hey.
Yeah, listen, don't act
Covino
too
and
cool.
Rich.
You listened to Dane Cook's comedy on a CD back in the day?
Oh, me and Rich bonded over that hard in the early 2000s.
Yeah, Dane Cook was all the rage back then.
Speaking of, this is Hit Between the Eyes Scorpions, if you're listening live. Iowa Sam on the ones and twos, DJ Sammy Sweetheart. But if you're listening to the podcast, you might not be hearing the music, but I'm glad you're listening. Follow, rate, and review Covino and Rich wherever you stream your podcasts. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, the LG X Boom Grab is the portable speaker that powers your hustle. From morning coffee runs to midnight rooftop hangs, enjoy vibrant sound with up to 20 hours of playback, and now save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25, F-A-L-L. Bring the boom, X Boom, and let's have a great fall like Humpty Dumpty. Covino and Rich.
Number 5.
I'm on a roll, dude. I'm on a roll.
Let's go to the phones are all lit, so let's go rapid fire. Times you got hit in the face, because this David Fry clip is something, man. Just to watch him.
Can we just say, like, can we spin it and say this is our way of celebrating the recovery of David Fry? Because what we saw was scary, but he's okay.
I think what adds to the scary is, a lot of times, I'll give you the analogy. You know when your kid falls, sometimes you reacting is the worst thing because then they get scared. Like if you're like, oh my God, you okay? Then
they don't cry until you react.
Yeah, so sometimes if you keep your calm, like, you okay there, buddy?
Or if they're on the edge, you can cause them to fall by overreacting to what they're doing.
Of course,
you scare them.
Like, what are you doing up there? I think by Scooble, like dropping his glove and hat and being like, oh, heavens to Betsy, like, and really reacting, it made, to me, it feel worse.
Everyone's reaction was really intense.
I love Scooble's emotions, and he reached out and seems like a really good dude, but his reaction to me made it even scarier.
We were playing some street football in our cul-de-sac, and my 4-year-old son fell on his knee wearing shorts. And in my head, I was like, ooh, that hurt. And he teetered. Do you cry? Do you not cry? And I played it cool. And he didn't cry. He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, you know what? Let's do halftime. Let's go inside. He's like, nope. Let's play.
Winning dad move, Dan Byer. Winning dad move.
Because if you would have reacted, he probably would have cried.
Rub some dirt on it. You're all right.
You know what? Since I talk a lot about coaching because I'm the number one coach on Fox Sports Radio.
When did that start?
I do this with the kids, my daughter's team and my son's team. And if you got kids, you don't need to be a coach. But I always say, and someone taught me this, I always say, are you injured or scared? Because when a kid's like crying, is it like,
you stole that from me because I always say, are you hungry or just bored?
Yeah, I stole it from you.
Every time I go to the pantry, I ask myself that.
Am I hungry or am I bored? That's a good one. But a lot of times you'll see a kid crying, and I'm like, are you? Hey, buddy, you scared? Are you okay? Did you get shaken up, or are you injured? Because I think 99% of the time when a kid cries, they're not injured. They're just scared. Like, hey, you get hit by a ball, you fell, and you get startled, and every coach is like, yo, you okay, little Jackson? The kid's scared. He's not hurt. So, are you scared or are you injured?
It was a weird sequence of events. Schoolboy making weird plays, had no control. Fry squares up. Schoolboy hits him in the face. 99.6 mile per hour fastball. As Rich said, Schoolboy very animated and regretful about what happened. And he said the right things, too. He said something along the lines of, they lost the game, but some things are bigger than the game, and David Fry's health was the priority last night. And he's okay. He's got fractures. So we're taking your phone calls now about those scary moments where you hit somebody in the face, or maybe you were hit in the face, because you never forget it. That's really the thing. You never forget it.
Let's go to Trip in Vegas. What's up, Trip?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up, buddy?
You'll love this. I got plenty of fight stories from the military, but I got one when I was a kid. So I'm playing Pony League, and they bring me in from center field because the pitcher gets hurt. And they're like, you got a big arm, you can come pitch. I'm like, okay. First kid right-handed, strike out. Next kid, strike out. Next kid's left-handed. I hit him square in the helmet.
Oh.
And I was just devastated.
Those lefties threw you off as a kid.
That's so funny you say that, because when you were a pitcher in Little League or Pony Ball, you got so used to throwing to righties that when there was a lefty, you're like, I don't really need to do anything different, but it feels different.
And, there's a lot of kids that take the mound, and Rich, I'm sure you're experiencing this now as the number one coach, as you brag about all the time.
Yeah.
so many kids take the mound and they're so scared of actually hitting a kid that they don't throw the way they're capable of.
Yeah.
Because they're so apprehensive and tentative of hitting somebody.
Hey,
see
you
the
sound like
girls-
Dave Roberts' press conference after the game last night.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
Let me tell you, I see the girls do that all the time in my daughter's softball. Like, if a girl hits a girl, she will then pitch hesitantly, and they do this thing when a girl gets hit, they all take a knee. I don't know if that's a new thing. Like everyone in the field and dugout, like, girl gets hit by a pitcher, instinct, like, take a knee, and they like, oh, don't get up until the girl's like, I'm okay.
No, but you know those kids that have a rocket arm, and then all of a sudden they're like throwing darts. They're like, because they don't want to hit. They don't want to hit the kid.
Yeah.
Mo,
okay.
what up,
in
Mo?
Arizona? What's up, Mo?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
All right. Hey, so I'm up in the 90s, Mid-Fontana High School. May have heard about this one, Rich. Soccer players are playing soccer at lunchtime, and I'm over with hanging with the cool guys, and the guy misses the net. Ball comes over probably like 40, 50 yards. Nobody says a word to me. Just watch the ball. And I turn around, smacks him right in the side of the face. Hurt a little bit, but I was more embarrassed and angry.
Yep.
I feel bad for the kid who came and got the ball because he wasn't even the one who kicked it, and I just threw that ball double-fisted right in his face. And I may or may not have started a small riot at the school.
So you know what? You paint a great picture, and you remind me of something too. The embarrassment that's involved if you're alert and awake to tell the story. Because I remember playing, it was like a varsity high school game or whatever, and I'm running home, and it was a play at the plate. Catcher has the ball. I'm going down the slide, and the catcher, with all his force, tags me right in the face. Boom! So I get tagged in the face. My head goes back.
And you're out.
I'm out.
And
I'm out and out. And then I got a bloody face all over the place.
Oh.
You know, and you're embarrassed, and you'll never forget it.
No, there is a level of
I was
embarrassment.
tagged and hit so hard in the face.
You know what's embarrassing? Let me take you back to gym class. I was Sam. You ever get hit in the face during dodgeball, like blindside, like boink?
Oh, yeah. And the ball makes a weird sound, and then you're like, your face might swell up a little bit, and you're just like, what happened?
Yeah, not a good one. Not a good one. All right, let's say hi to Mark in Bakersfield. Hey, Mark.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen. I was playing like 4 nights of softball, fast pitch, slow pitch. One of the leagues we played in was co-league. So I get up. My buddy's already hit 2 home runs. I have 2 home runs, so I'm going to try to hit one to beat him. There's this nice girl playing third base, got her knee pads on, got her ponytail and her sunglasses, playing right at third base. So I swing as hard as I can, and it just hits her, can't even move, straight in the face. And I'm like, do I run to first or do I run to go to her? And that was the last time I ever played co-ed softball ever.
Dude,
again.
who would put, I mean, not to sound sexist, but who would put the, like, maybe inexperienced girl in the hot corner at co-ed softball? That just seems like a dumb move.
Yeah, that's asking for
or
it.
an evil move by whoever put her there.
Yeah, like, oh, John's girlfriend, we hate her.
That's
Put her at
horrible.
third base.
Yeah, and then you feel terrible about it.
Man, that is, I hope he ran to third base to check on her. Single.
He took second, man.
He checked on her when he got to third. He rounded second in the
He got
third.
a triple out of
By
it.
the way, did you see that the other day? Not to be all over the place, but the Mets who are in a wild card race. Luckily, the play was called dead, but the left fielder for the Nationals slid into the wall and injured himself on the play, and it was like bad. Like he was immediately thriving. Like, oh! Cedric Mullins of the Mets, who's been trash for the Mets, stops in between first and second, puts his hands on his helmet like, oh, my God. The ball gets thrown back into the infield. They tag him. And luckily, they're like, after further review, we've called the play dead. I'm like, yo, you still have to play at that level.
At
that level, right?
So the times you were hit in the face, because you'll never forget it. Who else do we got?
Bruno
2 more.
in Brooklyn. Let's we'll take 2 more. What's up, Bruno?
Boys, hey, I got a good one. Pretty scary, but it was pretty crazy. Foursome playing golf. We're out. We got 2 carts. We're out there. One of my buddies is up in a tee box. He's lining it up. I'm talking to one of my other friends. The third part, he's basically off to the side taking some practice cuts or practice swings. The guy I'm talking to has got his back to the guy taking practice swings. He turns around, and this guy swings, and he walks right into it. Hits him right in the forehead, takes him off his feet. I thought we killed the guy. It was insane. We had to race him up.
That is the scariest thing. When people are swinging golf clubs or baseball bats around other people.
Pinata parties.
Or pinata. Oh, dude, you have a little kid's birthday party?
I'm not even kidding you. As a kid who always had pinatas at his party, someone was always getting hit in the face, but it was usually a wiffle bat.
Bro, it is it is always a scary moment. You know how many times I have to tell?
Or dad takes it in the nether region
Yeah,
because the kids are lined up right there.
Yep,
Do you
you're
know-
so right about that.
Do you know how many times I have to say, like, boys, bats down, because these knuckleheads would walk into it. They put on your helmet side. Kevin, wrap it up in Tennessee, then we'll go to DB for an update. What's up, Kev?
Hey guys, how you doing today?
What's up, man?
Well, I'll tell you, this is kind of a crazy story. About 10 years ago, our best friend's daughter and got married to a guy. They met each other playing softball, and they get married. They go away on their honeymoon. They get back from their honeymoon. They don't even check the presents or anything yet. They go, and he has a game. He goes out. He's a pitcher, throws a pitch, gets hit with the batter hits the ball right in his head. Guy dies.
Oh, dude, that's horrible.
Whoa.
Isn't that terrible? I hate
Yeah,
you guys are
horrible.
my favorite. I hate to give you a story like
No,
this.
no, but you know
yeah.
what? It goes to show you how serious
Yeah.
last night was and how
Thank
lucky
goodness.
he got, and how we could all take a deep breath and say, "Hey, man, get better, David Fry." I do have one more story, but we got to go to Dan Byer.
Let's go to DB.
DB's got the updates.
Now you go to me. You couldn't tell your story and
No.
cushion. I got to follow a death. Yes.
DB.
And the guy died. Let's go to Dan Byer for more.
It's like,
Yes.
Casey. It's like Casey Kasem with that dead dog dedication.
Jeez.
I'll save mine for later.
Please, Covino, tell the story. Please tell. You know what? I'm going to hold off. Dan, go ahead.
It's all you. And then everyone died. Hey, Dan, what's going on?
Yes. All right. David Fry out 6 to 8 weeks. Multiple facial fractures, some minimally displaced. Did have nasal fractures as well, but has been discharged from the hospital, and the team says is home resting comfortably. But yeah, scary situation with David Fry, who won't play again this season. Brewers are up on the Padres 1-0 playing in the fifth inning in San Diego. Padres still having hopes of winning the NL West, starting the day a game and a half back of the Dodgers. Nationals beat the Braves 4-3, but the real story is the Nats have a new GM. Multiple reports say they're naming Red Sox assistant GM Paul Taboni as their new general manager. In the NFL, 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice. Wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings sat out workouts today, as did Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels practiced on a limited basis. That was the plan, according to head coach Dan Quinn. The plan for the Giants is to go with Jackson Dart. The first-round pick will start Week 4 against the Chargers. Russell Wilson will serve as the backup. Speaking of the Chargers, they placed running back Najee Harris on injured reserve with that Achilles injury. The Eagles placed linebacker Nolan Smith on IR with a triceps injury. Fox broadcaster and Raiders Limited partner Tom Brady said there was no conflict of interest between his two positions, making the comments in his weekly newsletter. Finally, guys, Sister Jean, the chaplain and mentor for the Loyola of Chicago men's basketball team, retiring at the age of 106. She was a fixture during the Ramblers Final Four run 2 years back.
Any headline about someone at 106 other than their sad passing is remarkable.
Right.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, no.
See, I throw it back to you guys with positive news.
Thank you, DB.
Yes, you're welcome.
Now, Covino, you're getting hit in the face story. Thanks, Dan
man.
Byer.
Thanks, guys.
You know what? I got to tease this one because it was scary, but we'll wrap it up, and then we'll play some games. We got Big Mike's Words of Wisdom and
We're
Midweek
going to
Major.
talk
We got
about,
lots of stuff to get to.
celebrating. We're going to talk about baseball playoffs and NFL Week 4. My goodness, so much fun coming up. Thanks for hanging. Covino and Rich, more next.
Micah Parsons in the news because, well, he's heading back to Dallas.
Now, this is wild. Just as the schedule gods have probably high-fived each other, Sunday Night Football, Week 4 of the NFL, takes us to Dallas, Texas for Packers, Cowboys. And, of course, Sunday night, primetime, game of the week, the most viewed game on the NFL schedule every week. Sunday night is where it's at. 2 turntables and a microphone, and Sunday Night Football, where it's at. And there's talk of, should Micah Parsons get a video tribute in Dallas? And Jerry Jones has already said, like, not going to happen. Not today. No, this will not go down.
It's a lot of extra work for the media guy, too. For 4 seasons with the Cowboys, does it matter how the time was spent? Like, he was a dominant force with the Cowboys. Fans loved him. Are you doing it for the fans? You know, there's so many ways to look at this.
Let me explain. I'll give you a great...
Remember how he badmouthed Jerry Jones?
Let me give you
that's a big part of it.
A great analogy. When you date someone,
okay,
when enough time passes, you could look back and be like, you know what? We just weren't meant for each other. She's a great woman. I think I'm a pretty good guy. We were just not meant to be married. It is what it is. But you know what? We have great memories.
Married.
Good times. Fantastic. Or when a player leaves a team via a trade, or, hey, listen, we're rebuilding. We got to unload our stars in free agency or the trade deadline. Recently, you know, the Mets, what was the big rah-rah 2024 Mets thing? Remember, oh, my God, Julio Iglesias. It's Jose Iglesias.
I was going to say Julio.
I love to say Julio. Jose Iglesias. With, oh, my God, that whole rage. He came back to Citi Field. He was only in the Mets for a year, but his vibe was awesome. He didn't burn the Mets, so they did a little, oh, my God, hey, thanks for last year, thumbs up, little montage on the screen.
Yeah, he did nothing wrong. He brought a lot. He had a nice run. He was a fan favorite. I think that matters. How did you exit matters.
It all matters.
I think it matters. Did you start your career there? Like, are you a lifelong kind of guy? I think that helps in the argument. Like, the Glaber of love. Glaber Torres just came back to Yankee Stadium as a Tiger, and he got his ovation and everything else. Again, a guy that started his early rookie career with the farm system and the New York Yankees.
Who recently came back to the Dodgers, and they threw a Dodgers hat on him and started hugging him? World Series champion last year.
But we are a little
I know him,
yeah, but a guy that won with the team?
I know I'm putting you on the spot, Danny, but it was
Those things matter too.
Someone that got their ring. Could he be on the Reds, maybe? Someone came back to Dodger Stadium, and they threw a
Bueller, maybe?
No. They threw a hat on him. And
Jock Peterson?
No, it wasn't Jock.
No, it was to give him his World Series
Yeah,
ring.
I would have noticed that tub of goo.
Gavin Lux.
Yeah, it was Gavin Lux.
Yeah,
Gavin Lux came back. They threw a Dodgers hat on him for like 20 seconds. He reluctantly was like, yeah, fans were... No one wanted to see Gavin Lux
go. But that's
go.
another reason to celebrate. He had a championship run. He was part of that team. You know, all these things are factors, but does everyone get a montage?
Dude,
I feel we're montage crazy.
Enough time
had
had passed where the Mets felt it was okay to give Jacob deGrom a little video montage a couple weeks ago. But
you see this in the NBA all the time.
Bro, you do, but let me tell you, what do they say? The paint hasn't dried? What is the saying? The blood has whatever it is.
The ink, something about the ink.
The ink, fool me once. Jerry Jones, we're talking like weeks ago, this guy told Jerry Jones to kiss his ass essentially and force this, and Jerry Jones is not pleased with Michael Parsons, as he liked to call him. So if you think Jerry Jones should give this guy a tribute, he should tell Micah Parsons to I can't even say what I think.
Micah should tell him that too. He didn't want to work with Micah's agent.
Go kick rocks. Go pound
sand. Go kick rocks.
They're both in. You know, they both have fault in this.
But you think
I agree. It's one of those too soon sort of
like
things.
if this happened a year from now, without a doubt. But it would be like your girlfriend dumped you for the mailman. And then your bro hugging the mailman, like, hey, man, all good.
I almost feel, though, like, Rich, in sports, this has become, as soon as they come back for the first time, we acknowledge them. A year out, it's too far removed.
Yeah, this is too much too soon. And also, what did you win over the last couple of years?
And by the way, it's 4 years, like, worthy. I get he's a star player.
They drafted him.
But to me, that's like, I feel like you got to have a standard, or else, again, are you giving the media guy a bonus?
4 years.
Because I think like it has to be you won with the team, or there's a 5 year. I think there's like, hey, did he play more than 5 years? Did he win? All right, Covino and Rich, thank you for hanging with us. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Hope you're having a great day. And it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day.
I'm going to debate this. We're going to go with Scooble and the Tigers caught off guard by the Guardians. Their final play, the final call. Take a listen.
Cleveland will not only move into a tie for first, but they'll own the season series and the tiebreaker. Here's the pitch. Swung on line to third. Caught by Ramirez. Ball game. The Guardians take over the Central Division lead. They beat the Detroit Tigers 5-2.
All right, that is pretty cool. Guardians taking over. When at one point of the season, the Tigers had a 15.5 game lead. So
I just wanted to give them love because I knew we would cover the Mets and the Yankees in regular programming.
That is true.
Fair enough.
That is true.
That's courtesy of Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network, and that's our Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Tire Rack. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
All right, well, we will talk a little more wild card and playoff baseball where we got 5 games left, which is giving me anxiety to the highest level. Like yesterday, Mets are losing 6-1. I'm at my kid's baseball practice. I put down my phone. I pick it up. Nimmo's hitting a home run to tie it. A wild day. Your Dodgers, Danny G, I want to talk about this later. They couldn't do me any favors. What is Dave Robertson, your bullpen, doing? Beat the damn D-backs.
They've been doing what they've been doing all season, where it's the reverse of last season. Last season, the bullpen basically won that World Series. This year, they have starting pitching and no bullpen.
Shohei threw a gem, and I'm like, 4-0.
Yeah.
Dodgers are going to win. Perfect. And I'm like, no, not so fast.
We're going to have back-to-back starters go in these games because as soon as the Dodgers go to the pen, the other team's licking their chops.
Oh, so that went down. We'll talk a little Yankees clinching. But you said you had your final hit-in-the-face story.
One last story.
Yeah,
it's worth telling. You know, this is in honor of David Fry's speedy recovery. He's okay.
You're not talking about that time with that girl motorboated you in Vegas, right?
No,
when
that's
you were hit in the face?
That's
Okay.
a great story.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, this is a terrible story, but with a happy ending. No, not that kind.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I graduated with this kid. I'll give him a shout out. E.J. Collins. Eddie Collins was drafted by the Brewers, right? And he was at my house. Kid threw heat, dude. 90s. We're in high school. So he's like 16, 17 years old. We're on our front lawn. So that's all part of the story. On the front lawn, and we're just practicing throwing heaters.
Forget about the curveball,
one of
Covino.
my buddies squatting right in front of a little fence, like a little wooden fence in the front yard that separates the front yard to the backyard. So you got one friend just squatting in front of the fence,
Yeah.
and then me and my buddy Eddie were just throwing heaters, right? Just some practice.
Yeah. Who'd you get? What sucker did you get to catch for you guys?
Yeah, just one of our buddies, right? EJ gets in full windup. Again, this is a big kid, high school 6'3", heat.
Yeah.
Cheese. Full windup, throws one, and it goes sizzling over the little fence. And all of a sudden you hear, pop! And I see the ball, like, go in a different direction. And we look over the fence, and my little sister is completely knocked out.
Oh, my God.
Not even joking you.
goodness.
My little sister, Dawn. Dude,
She's never been the same.
Yeah, we thought we killed her, dude. And then immediately, this is why it's so scary. Immediately, she was like 5 maybe. Immediately had like a cartoon. Boop. She had a big lump in her head. You saw the veins in her head. Like, oh my God. And then you had to go get my parents. You know how frightening that was, dude? Horrible. Turns out Dawn's a great person. She has kids and she's doing well. But man, getting hit in the face. The point is,
She does have CTE. Also.
yeah,
She still has a huge lump on her head.
She's still got this weird Frankenstein scar on her head. But the point is, you never, ever forget it.
Wow.
And, you know, she's alive to tell the story. But, man, that was scary, dude.
David Fry last night. Thank goodness he's all good. And you know what? Baseball, we've been saying it all year. It's popping. And right now, you have 2 teams that are 1 game behind the Mets in the wild card race. And both of those teams own the tiebreaker over the Mets. So when I tell you the Mets are clinging to a 1-game lead, it's not like, oh, if they tie it up, who has the tiebreaker? No. There is 0 margin of error for the Mets. And today, Danny G, all I'm rooting for is your Dodgers to beat the D-backs, and the Reds have to face Paul Skeens today. So And the Mets are in Wrigley, so that NL wild card is getting freaking awesome. So we got more Covino on Reg. We'll do some baseball and football coming up. When the recently fired Mike Gundy gave us one of the best quotes in sports history.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
By the way, that was 18 years ago this week. 18 years ago yesterday, which means he's 58 right now.
Good
with
math,
his
Steve.
Killer quaff from outer space. Have you seen the quaff on this guy?
I mean, his hair is
I had
unreal.
to pause the TV last night. I'm looking there. I'm like, is that Mike Gundy? I put my glasses on. And there he is in all his glory with the most quaff-tastic pompadour I've seen in years.
Let me just say this. From the age of 40 to 58, is that what's going to happen to my hair?
His hair hasn't aged a bit.
I mean, geez. Because I was going to say, I was like a 20-something-year-old punk when he said that. And I remember thinking, like, man, he's old. Remember when you were 20-something and you thought 40-something was old?
Yeah, but
man, I want to kick
was-
my old self in the nuts.
Yesterday was the anniversary of that legendary quote, right? And then he goes and gets fired on his day off. I mean, on
the anniversary,
pretty much of that legendary quote. And now he has to rearrange it and say, I'm unemployed. I'm 58.
How the hell you going to get fired on your day off?
I'm jobless. I'm 58.
I think.
Sad.
Come after me. I'll be at Express Pros.
Yeah, trying to find a gig. And by the way, I'm not trying to have fun at his expense. I'm just saying how ironic that the anniversary was yesterday, and then I see him on TV looking quaff-tastic, and now we find out today he's fired because of fan outrage, really.
Well, I mean, he's not delivering.
No,
But
I
then
mean,
again,
21 seasons, Oklahoma State,
has
then it was
made-
fire Gundy, and after a big loss to Tulsa, and I think he retires 170 and 90.
Let me tell you.
Or 120 and 90? I can't read my own handwriting.
Quite a run, and I'm sure he's made quite a bit of money. And I just realized that if you add a van to the Gundy, you take away the hair.
Yes, Van Gundy means no hair.
Gundy means great hair.
Van Gundy in German means comb over.
Yeah.
Van Gundy.
Van Gundy means no hair. Gundy means great hair.
And Gundy, man, he looks like Frankie Carbone.
Well,
with that quaff.
before we kick it to some NFL and some baseball wild card races, I do want to say, hey, no one likes to see someone get fired, but
Not at all, no.
the guy's got a great head of hair and he has a great resume.
I just find it ironic that on the anniversary of that famous quote, a day later, he gets fired.
I did want to point out how time is flying. We hate those memes like, can you believe it's as far away from 19 whatever as it is from the future? And I hate those memes, but we are celebrating the 20th anniversary this year of 40-Year-Old Virgin. So when Steve Carell was the 40-Year-Old Virgin, that was 20 years ago. Isn't that wild to think?
Nah, hey, Rich.
Time is a flying. The
like
last
Jay
20
Stu
years.
always says, time's flying, man.
God, he hates when people say that.
Time's flying. I just kind of feel bad for the guy, though. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Can be
And I
fun.
will say this.
People get fired.
I will
Coaches
say
get
this,
let
though.
go.
He left his mark in sports quotable history. I think it's a top 5 quote. I think practice. I think that's one.
We talking about practice.
I'll give you another one. Can't wait. Bart Scott.
I think I'm a man. I'm 40s right after.
Yeah.
I'm not saying top
Can't
3.
wait.
I think
Can't wait.
I think Denny Green. They are who we thought they were.
That's
We let them off the
another
hook.
one.
There's some good ones. We don't need to.
They are who we thought they were.
Look at this. Iowa
We
Sam.
let them off the hook.
I was saying on the buttons. I will say, it's a great conversation. We've had it before. We don't need to harp on it, but hey. Mike.
The Cleveland Guardians say that designated hitter David Fry is going to miss 6 to 8 weeks after he was hit by a pitch in the face during last night's game against the Tigers. Fry suffered multiple fractures on the left side of his face, also nasal fractures on the play. He's been discharged from the hospital and is at home resting comfortably. The Nationals are naming Red Sox assistant GM Paul Taboni to be their new general manager. Earlier today, the Nats topped the Braves 4-3. The Padres have just tied it with the Brewers, bottom of the sixth inning, tied up at 1 apiece. Jackson Merrill, a solo home run for San Diego. They're a game and a half back of the Dodgers for first place in the NL West. No practice today for Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels was limited. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice, while the Giants minute official Jackson Dart will start under center week 4 against the Chargers. Chargers running back Najee Harris officially placed on injured reserve. I'm Dan Byer.
Hey!
Oh, yeah. Hope you're having a great week.
Hey!
Hope you're having a Ben Rice sort of week. Ben Arroz, who's 7 for his last 9. A name that you're going to have to know as we enter the postseason ghost season.
No.
Don't say I didn't warn you about Ben Rice, everybody.
Okay, I hope when he goes,
look out.
When he goes 1 for 12 in the wild card and loses.
Oh, no. It's those key players that make the difference. That's Ben Rice for the Yankees. We're going to talk some Yankees celebration because they clinched yesterday. But right now, broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Again, Steve Covino, Rich Davis, Danny G, Iowa Sam, Dan Byer. Spots on the videos, everything Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. And we be rocking out. Let's go.
And this isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters.
What you know about game?
100-year tour. Come be a part of the legacy that never stops. Be there when history is made. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com. I've been, and what a good time for the kids.
Ever wanted to try an Olympic and Paralympic sport? Try fencing. It's fast, safe, and easy to start. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing. Going to have a lot of fun this hour because we got Big Mike's Words of Wisdom.
Yes.
By the way,
yes.
Original Words of Wisdom. So, Mike, bringing it to you. You have to repeat
Great.
verbatim.
Get a pad and pen ready because I'm guessing it's going to be 15 seconds long.
Oh, yeah. Your chance to win a CNR bribery Nerf football. Plus, every Wednesday, we turn your hump day into a hump night with Spots Midweek Major. The biggest stories in sports and pop culture are they midweek or major. So, I mentioned the Yankees, Rich. I got to get this off my chest. And I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth like you, double talking Dickie. Yeah, double talking Dickie, see?
Yeah, she.
Yeah, because I don't like people that celebrate too much. Like, there's still a long way to go.
No,
That's how I normally feel. But again, I'm not raining on anyone's parade. It's not like a weird stance that I have. Like, rah, we don't celebrate, blah, blah, blah. It's not that. But the Yankees have been there, done that. However, this season for everybody, for the Dodgers, for the Padres, for your Mets, oh my goodness, your Mets especially, the Tigers, look at the side they've had. The Yankees have struggled all year, ups and downs. It's been a crazy roller coaster of a season, like none I've ever really seen before, not to this degree. So when the Yankees clinched last night on a walk-off, keep in mind, any walk-off victory celebrated, but it was a walk-off clincher. The Yankees celebrated. El Caballero was jumping up and down. He tore his jersey off. They're popping champagne. They're doing their post-game interviews. Everyone's pumped about it.
By
It
the
got
way,
me fired up. But
that-
the criticism was, why are you celebrating?
No. I have thoughts on this,
It's
but
major criticism today.
I just want to go to that walk-off for a second. There's a reason why the Chicago White Sox have lost 100-plus games now.
For efforts like Michael Taylor.
The center fielder, you know this. You learn this in Little League. You learn this in high school, any level. If the ball drops, the game's over, Yankees win. He fields it on a bounce.
He's
like,
not
where's
gunning
the
judge in that moment?
Where's the dive? Where's the effort?
Dude, you lay out. A Savannah Banana could have caught that. You could have caught that. And I say them because they're always laying out. They could have caught that in their back pocket. He could have easily had that if he just did a slide catch. He didn't even have to dive.
I couldn't believe
laying out face first.
I couldn't believe my eyes. And again,
that was the weakest effort.
You're on a team that's you have what 50-ish wins. That team is awful, the White Sox. But when the game's on the line and there's a line drive to center field, and if it drops, man on second, facts. If it drops, the game is over. And you field that on a hop instead of trying to slide catch or even dive, lay out. It was embarrassing. It's like it really is like a reflection of like that guy.
Yeah.
It should be noted that this Taylor guy,
zero effort.
The effort level should be noted because if there's another team that tries to acquire him and he's in a better situation, just because your team stinks,
watch the replay.
You're a major league player.
It falls right in front of his feet. Right in front of his feet, dude. And the Yankees reap all the benefits. Caballero gets his first walk-off hit ever in his career, and the Yankees went ballistic. And it was cool to see because it's not the same teams from the 2000s. It's not even the full team from last year that lost in the World Series. It's a different squad of guys. It's been a tough year, and I think you take any reason to celebrate. Look, they know more than anybody that there's still a lot of work to be done, but you celebrate the victories along the way. That's what life's about. And it's a long season. I had no problem at all with the celebrating yesterday, and I would have no problem if it was the Dodgers, even though they're World Series champions. They've struggled. Your Mets, anybody at this point this season, I would have a problem with.
Glad,
but that was the major criticism from yesterday.
I'm glad.
Why are they celebrating?
That you're taking the stance, because Covino's usually the stick in the mud that'll say nonsense like, yo, act like you've been there. To me, baseball's 162 games. These guys start hanging out, pitchers and catchers, in February. Super Bowl happens. The minute the Super Bowl's over, pitchers and catchers are getting ready to prepare for spring training. You're talking about most of the year, 162 games, traveling every day. This isn't baseball. This isn't football where it's every Saturday or Sunday if you're college or the pros. This is pretty much 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
Grind.
For 162 games.
Emotional roller coaster.
And each team is going to go through winning streaks, losing streaks, division battles. I can't understand anyone that thinks celebrating is bad. I look at it this way. I'm a believer in celebrating anything in life. Call me crazy. I'm the guy that likes gender reveals and parties and people have baby showers and events and sweet 16s and graduations.
I don't like gender reveals. I don't
if-
like how people make gigantic spectacles about it.
Well,
and
unless you're
light
starting
things on fire.
unless you're starting a forest fire, if someone decides to pop some balloons or cut a cake and have friends and family over, we're in this world once. I don't know. I'm about celebrating these moments. The birth of children, celebrating birthdays and anniversaries and championships and divisions. And, hey, you got a work promotion? Let's go get drinks. I don't know why people are anti-celebration. It boggles my mind. So you rather just be a lame-o that just sits there? So what do you want the Yankees to do? And I don't like the Yankees because every day they win, it means I owe Covino more money.
Right.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
That almost sounds fake.
I didn't know how long that was.
Right?
So
Sorry.
to me, I don't want to see the Yankees win, but you win in a walk-off, and that means you clinch a division, not a division, even a playoff spot.
Playoff spot, yeah.
To me, that's still cool enough
And puts
for
them
me.
one game behind the Blue Jays. So it was a cool moment, but the two stories, like the major headlines, after that particular game was Michael Taylor not putting effort in to catch that ball for the Sox. And why are the Yankees celebrating?
Dude,
even our buddy Drew Mack from Nashville hit us up, and he says, I'm not a traditionalist, so I like bat flips and celebration. Just think making the playoffs is weak. I mean, when you have a good team and a rich tradition.
But those guys are young. Ben Arroz never made the playoffs.
Exactly. You know, you act like you've been there.
Caballero isn't a playoff player.
He says, come on, I feel like 27 rings making the playoffs and you're celebrating like that.
Well,
everybody knows the end goal. I just think this season especially, I think all teams deserve to celebrate.
I will never get on a player, a team, or anyone for celebrating. I'll never get on someone for having a birthday party, an anniversary party, a gender reveal. Listen, I'm all for high school reunions. When people say, you know what people love to say?
I went to mine last weekend, 20th.
Dude, I was saying
that's why I was gone. Or sorry, 2 weekends ago.
You know what people love to say, Sam?
Oh, I thought you got a hair transplant.
Yes, that was part of the trip, too.
Your hair looks great.
Forget Turkey, go to Iowa.
Yeah, man, he came back with a pompadour.
Thank you.
I thought it was Mike Gundy in here.
I hate when people say, high school reunion, no thanks. I see what they're doing on Facebook. If I wanted to hang out with them, I'd hang out with them. I don't know. Is there something like
that? Is what everybody says.
Are you that much of a stick in the mud that I
didn't
don't know,
like them then?
Why would I like them now? So going to a bar.
I could visit them on Facebook.
Yeah,
I had a good time. I enjoyed myself.
I agree, Sam. I loved my high school reunion because you bump into some old familiar faces. Some you don't care about. My point is,
I'm a old familiar faces. Some of them look like
I was saying, were people like
Old Man Winter?
Did anyone be like, I was Sam from Fox Sports Radio?
A lot of people didn't know what I was doing for a living, so that's fine.
We tell them you're an OnlyFans model?
Yes, that's what I said.
OnlyFans.
I'm in LA. I'm doing OnlyFans.
Yes.
But no, I just think it's weird how people would be anti-celebration. Like what the alternative is what? Hey, good job, bud.
Yeah, no, I think you take that feeling and you run with it, man. You don't want to lose. You enjoy it, and it keeps you fired up for the next round of playoffs. So the Yankees got the clincher Chevelle style. The clincher Chevelle style last night, and I don't have a problem with it, but I did see a lot of criticism. It actually got me pumped up as a fan. I was like, all right, let's go.
As a fan,
postseason, let's go.
I love seeing the team I root for celebrate. So
same, especially if they don't. If they don't, every year's a different team.
Yeah, every year's, and you
don't think Rich wants to see his Mets celebrate? Who cares? It's the first round.
Yesterday, when Francisco Alvarez,
just making it.
When Francisco Alvarez hit that go-ahead home run, the game winner, when he pauses in between home plate and first base, looks at his teammates and flexes, how are you not going to get fired up?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that. So your thoughts at 877-99 on Fox.
When the
we
Dodgers,
told you how we feel.
When the Dodgers bullpen blows yet another game, and the D-backs round third and score, and they're in the wild card race. If you're an Arizona fan, how are you not excited in that moment? And by the way, Danny, your team better win the next 2 nights. Can we make a deal here or what?
Yeah, I hope they're not too scared for the moment. We got to talk about that later.
You know how we started the show talking about being hit in the face? I don't want him to be injured, but can somebody smack Dave Roberts a little bit? Maybe some cold water, wake him up?
I saw one of my buddies posted on Instagram. You know how AI is ridiculous now, how you can make anything? Someone did an AI of after Tanner Scott blew that save, Ohtani walks out of the dugout and punches Tanner Scott in the face.
Yeah, I saw a clip of Jake Paul and Tank Davis making out. I thought it was real.
Do you know how many excellent starts by Ohtani now have been wasted this season? Tanner Scott has blown.
He's getting the Paul Skeens treatment. He's getting the Jacob deGrom treatment.
On Spectrum, I saw the stat on the TV screen after the blown save, and I'm like, that can't be right. I looked it up. I'm like, that's somebody messed up back in the truck in the the edit bay.
The graphics guy.
Yeah. How many blown saves do you guys think Tanner Scott? By the way, who was great with the Padres last year? How many blown saves does he have with the Dodgers this season?
More than 5 to 10.
10. That was his 10th blown save.
That's
an additional 10 wins. The Dodgers have had a decent season.
Danny, that's a difference between 88 and 98 wins.
Yeah.
And by the way, that is the even if it's half of those, you see a good closer, you'll see he's 31 out of 35 on saves. Everyone's going to blow a save here and there, but 10 is substantial.
But to have no backup plan, nobody was warming up in the pen. It was wild. I mean, the D-backs suddenly get 3 runs off of rookie Jack Dreyer. Kershaw was wandering around near the pen, and he was warming. They said he was warming up a little bit. So Dodger fans were like, "Oh, Roberts is going to bring Kershaw in. That's a great idea. He'll close this out. 4-3, get the W." Nope. Brings Tanner Scott in. Nobody's even warming up. Gets in a jam. Runners on base. Still nobody warming up. And Dave Roberts after the game said, "I'm going to stick with the guys who are timid right now because I feel like they need to build some confidence." Bro, there's only a handful of games left in the season. You should have figured this out way sooner.
David Roberts says a scared mindset is a significant factor in the team's recent struggles. That's a whole other discussion. That's nuts. You're scared? You're playing baseball. I understand the moment's big.
I'm afraid, all right? What is he, Rocky fighting Drago?
I'm just thinking that's not a good way to feel at this stage of the game.
I liked him in that spot. I really did.
You want those kids and those guys that want the ball and want that moment. And I guess not everybody's cut out for that.
But I think a lot of times that, we talk about how baseball, we just talked about a long season, 162 games. There are times where that losing or winning vibe is contagious. Covino always talks about it. Like, if you get a couple guys in the bullpen timid, if you're playing tight, Danny G, I can feel like that could spread throughout the bullpen.
Is there a worse feeling as a baseball fan than your starter throwing an absolute gem and then all of it is for nothing because your bullpen vomits all over the mound?
You know what? As in a minute, we're going to play Mike's Words of Wisdom, but let me pose another question. We'll take your feedback on the other side, okay? On the other side of the Mike's Words of Wisdom. What is the worst feeling as a sports fan? Like Danny said, your ace throws 6, 7, 6. I guess it's usually 5 or 6, right? And
like, hologram.
Yesterday he threw 6 no runs in 6 innings. Yep.
So usually it's like starter goes 5 or 6 and threw 80 pitches, and you're like, why'd they take him out? He only has 82 pitches. Your team blows the game. Or you have the lead in a football game, and for some reason, out of nowhere, your coach decides to just run it 3 times and punt the ball right back to the other team.
Yeah.
Like you've abandoned the game plan. Like you've effectively spread the ball out the whole game, and then you just say, let's run it up the gut 3 times. All right, 3rd and 6, punt it. And you're like, dude, the whole game, what are we doing?
It's like a De La Hoya fight back in the day where he would run around the ring in the last couple of rounds after dominating the fight, and then he was just trying to, eke out the victory at the very end.
So your thoughts, what is the worst feeling? Is it your manager making one of these bonehead bullpen decisions? We'll get to that. But right now, we do this every Wednesday. He runs this place.
No, he doesn't.
He brings us wisdom and camaraderie around this joint. Mike, and here's his words of wisdom.
It's time for the guy that runs this place.
Just for clarification, guys, Big Mike does not run this place. He is not in charge of everything. He has no power over really anybody here. He does not run this place.
It's Big Mike's Words of Wisdom on a Wednesday.
Whoa.
Do not do unto others as you would have done to you. Instead, treat others how they wish to be treated. Your opinion should be irrelevant.
That's way too long.
That's very wordy. Mike's words of wisdom.
Wordy words of wisdom from Mike.
You can always run it back one more time.
Yeah, I think we should run it back
play it one more time.
Do not want to others.
I can't even. I've already lost it.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Do not do unto others as you would have done to you. Instead, treat others how they wish to be treated. Your opinion should be irrelevant.
If you could,
I feel wiser after
hearing. If you
hearing
could repeat that jibber jabber word for word, you win a Covino Rich Nerf football.
I feel
with
like
Fox
the winner
Sports.
should get 2 Nerf footballs.
All right, so Mike's original Wednesday words of wisdom. Give us a call now for a prize at 877-99 on Fox if you could repeat it. And then to back up what Danny G was talking about, like the frustration that you feel with your team. This is kind of wild. I know it's a different breed of young man, but I've never heard this before growing up when it came to the players we grew up watching.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Roberts says that some of the players are too scared for the moment. Again, the scared mindset is a significant factor in the recent struggles for the Dodgers. Says he has timid relievers, and that's why this is going on. By the way, that's a weird public admission to make because I think it just, I don't know, it's not a good look. I think that's something you keep to yourself, maybe. I don't know.
It's kind of old school.
But to back up what you said, Danny G, Rich was trying to figure out why PCA of the Cubs bats 8th.
Yeah, he was an all-star. He's had a terrible second half. Hopefully he continues that against the Mets tonight. But PCA, I think he had over 20 home runs in the first half. He's had 4 in the second half. So he's struggling.
But he's still an all-star. He's still a confident player.
A great young player for the Cubbies. And I kept seeing, like, why is Crow Armstrong batting 8th or 9th or at the bottom of the lineup? Now, one theory is that, well, sometimes you like to spread out the meat in the lineup and you sort of set the stage for the top of the lineup again. Yes, I said meat.
You said spread out the meat.
But there's also another layer that he's a young player and the pressure of being in the meat of the lineup was getting to him. Like, he doesn't like batting second or third or anything. So to give the guy, this young kid, less pressure, they throw him at the bottom of the lineup to take that excess baggage off of him. And I'm like, yeah, but you're an all-star kid. Though. You batting 8th.
I get it. You want your best players to feel comfortable, but you also want your best players to step up in those big moments. I don't know. That just rang weird to me. But I'm saying it's a different breed of player, I guess. I don't know. They're letting their nerves get to them a little bit.
Yeah, and Friedman was trying to save a little bit of money at the trade deadline, and that rubbed some Dodger fans the wrong way because we knew we didn't have a closer fit for another World Series. And so for Dave Roberts to say, well, some of my setup guys and my 2 closers, they just need to gain some confidence. So that's why I wasn't warming anybody up because I want him to be confident that it's his. But once he's in trouble and there's no outs and there's 2 runners on and you're about to blow another game, that's when you walk out to the mound and you get somebody warming up and you're like, okay, no, we're not going to blow this game. You can't just keep making the same mistake over and over again.
Don't blow it, Dave. Don't blow it, Dave.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. So you handle Ohtani with kid gloves and you're so worried about how many innings he's playing, but then you let Scott do that and you have no backup plan. It doesn't even make sense.
I think it's just shocking. Look, they're young men. They're human. But I don't think we're used to hearing that on this level of professionalism.
Yeah, the PCA one's interesting because I'm reading more, and social and performance pressure and anxiety. A lot of young players, in particular, Crow Armstrong, has had to make adjustments in the major leagues, such as altering where he's in the box, seeing different pitches, and they're saying putting him at the bottom of the lineup, even though he might be one of their best potential hitters, it relieves some of that anxiety for a young player. So they're saying strategy, but also anxiety.
So when you're dealing with these timid players, anxious players, it all ties back to what we were talking about before. Different breed of young man. They're really young men. Of course they're going to celebrate. They're so pumped that they made it this far. It's fun to see them enjoy the moment. So it all sort of ties together. But now we get to your phone calls and your thoughts on that. 877-99 on Fox because we're looking for a winner.
All right, so we'll get a winner next from Mike's Words of Wisdom.
Winner!
If you want to repeat Mike's Words of Wisdom, you get that prize. And Spot's got Midweek Major, all the hottest stories in the world of sports and entertainment. Iowa Sam, just for the heck of it, I see the phones are all lit, but can you give Mike's Words of Wisdom one more time? Because I'll be honest, I don't even remember what it was about. It was long-winded.
It was sorry. It was the golden rule on steroids.
Do what unto others. One more time. Mike's going to punch me in the face.
Do not do unto others as you would have done to you. Instead, treat others how they wish to be treated. Your opinion should be irrelevant.
Bro, I'm still, let me tell you, when you read your kids a book and you're like, what am I reading?
You just words.
Mike, if you could repeat those words, we'll give you a prize. We do it next. Covino and Rich having some fun. Fox Sports Radio. Now, if you're looking for a new way to hire and manage your workforce, let me tell you about Express Employment Pros. They make it easy Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, being ghosted, interviews with unqualified candidates. Move up to the pros with expresspros.com.
Express is your full-service workforce solution connecting you with top talent fast. Every day, Express recruits and screens a variety of workers in your area. So when it's time to hire, they have the talent you need ready to go to work.
All right. Now, here's the deal. If you need full-time employees, they can recruit for you. Express Employment Pros helps tens of thousands of companies find workers, saving businesses time and increasing flexibility. You can find the nearest location at expresspros.com. Each of the 870 Express locations, locally owned and operated, backed by the support of an international headquarters.
Listen, you know hiring's stressful. Stop the hassle. Partner with Express. Go to expresspros.com and find a location near you. But we start off with baseball.
Yeah, it was a thought I had yesterday because my Mets have so under-delivered this year. They really have. But, big win today against the Padres, so you got to give them a thumbs up for that. But when you look at the Mets lineup, they should not be a team that's going to win 80 games and sneaks into the playoffs. The Mets should be a team that wins 100 games because I even asked you, who does not like the Mets? You're a Yankees guy. I said, who are the top 3 guys on every team? And is anyone compare to what the Mets are bringing?
And the answer is yes.
You think so?
And we're calling this who's the best big 3 in the MLB.
Yeah, move over, Ice Cube. This is our baseball big 3.
That's right. But this is the potential playoff edition, and we're going to break it down. The Mets have 105 total home runs of the big 3.
Yeah.
Dodgers, 91. Yankees, 110. But they also have Stanton.
Yeah.
Phillies, 96. Padres, 55. Seattle has 113, more than all with their big 3 combined. That's not even counting Polanco with his 24.
Again, but when you start adding the fourth guys,
it's
Giancarlo's,
the Mariners,
the Nimos, the Castellanos. If you start adding those fourth guys, you realize why these are the playoff teams. And I think, unfortunately for me as a Mets fan, you're realizing, why are they not better? Because all the other teams we're talking about are playoff locks. And the Mets are still fucking fighting for a wild card, which shows you the Mets this year, fun fact, it's not that fun, have used more pitchers this year than any team in Major League Baseball history. Do you hear that? In
history. I'll give you the top 3, though. It's Seattle, Yankees, Mets.
No, it's Dodgers. I mean, I think you take out the Yankees there because,
dude, are you not hearing the math?
Freddie, Mookie, and Ohtani coming to the postseason.
Grisham has 33 home runs. Mookie has 19. But get off that.
Postseason,
it's 2025.
Okay.
It's 2025. Okay. Belly has 29 home runs.
Grisham was a fucking platoon player last year.
Bellinger's going to end up with 10 more home runs than Freddie Freeman. He's at over 100 RBI.
All right, well, hey,
it's a new year, new season.
It's a new world.
But
it's a new love.
You got to give your props to Seattle. And it really goes to show you how much pitching matters.
Because if they had sweet pitching.
Yeah. Again, we're talking the bats, the big 3 and the bats. The pitching's going to matter here. All these teams are stacked.
And let me tell you, as we stand right now, as we do this pod, Seattle is a half a game behind Houston. So right now, Seattle's a wild card. Much like the Mets, if they had better pitching and, who knows, the postseason, everything could change. But enjoy, get ready for baseball. It's going to be awesome.
Well, how do you see it when it comes to big 3 in the MLB potential playoff edition? Let us know.
can I just vent about fundamental baseball for you know, you could even set a 1-minute timer.
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
Same.
Sam, you could set a 1 minute. I really just want to vent about
Is this
one
like
thing.
regular minutes or Uber minutes?
All right, I have a timer ready. Should I do it?
Hit a 1-minute timer. All right, so the Mets are losing 3-0 on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They tie the game up in the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
1 out. Yeah, okay, Nimmo strikes out. Can't put the ball in play. If he puts
Nimmo ain't Himmo.
Yo, you put the ball in play, Mets win on a sac fly.
Okay.
Strikes out. Can't put the ball in play. Bottom of the 10th, runner on second. They get the free runner start. Hit batter. Francisco Alvarez doesn't bunt them over to second and third when the game is tied 3-3 because, quote, he's not a good bunter.
Get out of my face with that.
I can't comprehend how in big league baseball
I'm
a
with
guy
you.
can't, quote, be a good bunter. So he grounds into a double play. The game goes into the 11th. Mets lose. And now they are tied with the Reds. They're losing the tiebreaker if that
15
would be
seconds.
the case. So
Oh, Iowa Sam with the clincher, Caballero style. Chicago rock from Chevelle, but congrats to my Yankees with the big win yesterday. Now we got to take over the AL East. Let's go. It's that time
Man.
of year. Postseason, go season.
well, as George Springer said, if you want to give the division to the Yankees, just do it. You saw him getting all mad last night?
I did. Yes, I did.
For arguing with umpires, saying that they almost insinuating like that baseball wants the Yankees to win the division.
Yep, and that song that he's playing is from Chevelle. It's called The Clincher, and I actually play that stuff every night on Turbo 41 Sirius XM.
Look at you. Aren't
That's
you,
Rich
aren't you the
Davis
greatest guy in the world?
from Pop Toupee, and together
Pop
we
Toupee.
form Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
That's good.
Pop
And
Toupee.
right
This guy-
now,
guy's
we're
got jokes.
live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Quick reminder, the LG X Boom Grab is the portable speaker that powers your hustle. From morning coffee runs to midnight rooftop hangs, enjoy vibrant sound with up to 20 hours of playback. And now save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom, the X Boom.
And for over 40 years, what's up, Tire Rack? I know you've been helping people. We know you. You've been helping people find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection, convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
By the way, that LGX boom, so powerful, it'll blow Rich's toupee off.
Oh, hey, be careful, Rich.
All right,
Be
well, with
careful.
that said, let's do it. Midweek Major time.
Covino and Rich get you over the middle of the week with Midweek Major.
Ooh, I love that.
We throw sports and pop culture headlines and topics at the fellas, and it's like the kids say,
That's so mid. Week, definitely major.
CNR scoring. Midweek Major.
I gotta go fast, actually, to give Spotty a full 7 minutes here.
Okay.
All right, before we hand things over to him, we roll the two big red love dice in the main studio.
I just rolled a 7.
7. All right, here we go.
And here goes a rich roll. Ah, that means Rich gets first take. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most famous person besides Judy Bloom from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Spotty Boy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Spot.
How are you?
Hi, Spawn.
Let's jump right in. All right.
Hi, Spawn.
Mr. Unlimited himself, Danger Russ Wilson, spoke out today about his recent benching, making way, of course, for backup QB Jackson Dart to step up as starter. But despite losing his starting gig, Russ is not phased. So during today's press conference, he said, I quote, I think for me personally, I'm not done. I've got so much belief in myself, and I know what I'm capable of. I know I can help this football team if it comes up. Wilson threw for 450 passing yards, 3 touchdowns in week 2, but understands that the NFL is a business. He said, quote, you can control your attitude, you can control your gratitude, and those two things are important because I love the game and respect it. Dart also spoke out at the press conference, saying he knows he's got to go all out in his debut, midweek or major.
You know, Dart's got the start, but, Russ has a Super Bowl. He is a, borderline Hall of Famer. And what I love about Russell Wilson is that you can make fun of him. We all can. I've done it. Dangerous, Mr. Unlimited. He's corny at times. But you know what? On the day he gets benched, you know what he spent the day doing? Visiting children at Mount Sinai Hospital.
What a man.
Guys visiting sick kids, being a great member of society. The Giants stink. Move on to Dart. I think this is major.
Definitely major.
Because he's got a great attitude, and you know what? He's made tens of millions of dollars. Who cares? He'll get a chance somewhere again. But I don't know. I like Russ. I think he's a good dude. The Giants do need to make a move, though.
I actually agree with everything Rich said.
Oh.
Shocker, major.
Definitely
I think it's major. I think he's handling it well. He says all the right things. He has a great outlook on it. He's understanding that it is just a business move, I think, at this point. Like, they got to put him in there. Daboll has nothing else to do. Plus, they can possibly save the season. Why not? They even got Young Ho Koo on their practice squad. So they're trying to make some moves here. And I think major, but I also think that he can't beat Father Time. I think he did lose a step. He may have a lot to give, but he's not the same player.
No, I mean, listen.
You know, I think his mind is saying yes, but his body's like, eh. Kind of like
his body's telling me no.
No, but it's like Canelo and Crawford. It's like, Canelo thought he had this fight. He could do it. His head was there, but his body didn't react the same way.
All right, what else, buddy?
All right, Rich, listen to this one. Mets broadcaster Gary Cohen, your favorite, whom you love, catching some heat for comments he made during last night's Mets at Cubs game. So while calling the game, he mentioned how it was odd that Cub Matt Shaw decided to skip Sunday's game against the Reds to attend the Charlie Kirk Memorial Service. He said, quote, Shaw had Cubs world in a tizzy when he was not there for the Cubs game with the Reds, and his lack of presence was felt. He went on to say, I don't want to talk about any of the politics of it, but leaving your team in the middle of a race for any reason other than a family emergency really strikes me as weird. So Shaw later went on to explain his decision to leave the game, saying he had a close personal relationship with Kirk, that they would he was a big Cubs fan, that they would text each other after every game, and that he explained it to his team why he left. So whatever backlash comes of it, he's okay with. He feels strongly about his faith, and what was meant to be happened. So midweek or major.
I mean, you said it all, Spot.
I have to get the story details.
There you go. What Spot said, everybody. Major. Listen.
Definitely major.
Gary Cohen's the best play-by-play guy in baseball. That's a common sentiment. It's a common sentiment in the industry. Now, he misstepped last night. This is a terrible statement. In the middle of a race, if Matt Shaw was personal friends with Charlie Kirk, and I read that Erica Kirk, his widow, reached out to invite Shaw to the service, you're not going to go to a friend's funeral service? Are you kidding me? Like, someone pointed out that Gary Cohen skipped a game last year when his dog died. Like,
by the way, and it's not just a funeral service. It was an assassination. It's like a horrific story.
Yeah, so
heartbreaking to people that didn't even know him on a personal level.
Yeah, heartbreaking to people that disagreed with everything he said politically. So I think to go to someone's funeral service or anything, I think, so you're telling me if a baseball player's best friend dies, they're supposed to play a game against the Reds on a Tuesday night? Come on, use your head, Gary Cohen. I think it's major. Bad move, Gary Cohen.
Definitely major.
Yes, as Scooble said last night after hitting
David Fry in the
face, some things are bigger than the game. And I think in this particular case, it was such a crazy story, and they were close friends.
Yeah.
I think it was a tough decision to make, but I think he made the right one. It's a major story.
Yeah.
Definitely major.
Wrapping it up with Tommy Brady officially firing back at critics who are questioning his conflict of interest as a Fox broadcaster and minority owner of the Raiders. So he released a newsletter today, Tommy's newsletter, say that it's his duty to utilize his knowledge of the sport, and anyone who doesn't see it is paranoid and distrustful. So he spoke at length about the importance of doing one's job, and that for him means growing the game of football by sharing his experiences on Fox broadcast and assisting in bringing the Raiders back to relevance. He said with the success that football has given him, he has a moral and ethical duty to the sport. And he said that anyone who opposes his dual jobs is blinded by distrust, and it's hard to see beyond their self-interest. He actually went on to really lean into his haters. It was like a crazy rant.
I think this is major. I'm
definitely major.
I'm Team Tom Brady on this. I think we all love to just lead with skepticism and cynicism. I think Tom Brady's great for the game. He's a legend. In fact, yesterday I was bummed that we didn't bring up. It was the anniversary yesterday of when he took over for Drew Brees, and the rest is history. So yesterday was the 24th anniversary of when he took. Did I say Brees? Drew Bledsoe. When he took over for Bledsoe, that was 24 years ago yesterday. He's been great for the game. Biggest winner. And everything Tom Brady does, I think, is great for football. So I'm Team Brady on this one. Major.
Breeze is in the news, though. Going to be commentating on First Take.
Oh, nice.
But it is major because it's Tom
Definitely
Brady.
major.
But it doesn't come from nowhere. It's like that guy, that married guy that got caught cheating, and it sort of lives with him for the rest of his life. Tommy's been in some controversy before.
Yeah,
So it's not
true.
like, people don't have any reason to not trust him. But it's good for the game. I'm Team Tommy on this. I agree with Rich.
All right. Well, hey, let's say
guys.
thank you to Spot, and let's say hello to Dan Byer for an update. What's up, DB?
Hey, DB.
Hey guys, just in addition to the David Fry story, out 6 to 8 weeks with those fractures on the left side of his face and nose, it was noted that Tarek Skubal and Stephen Vogt, the Guardians manager, went to the hospital together after the game. So Skubal and Vogt going to check in on Fry. Fry's been released from the hospital and, again, needs 6 to 8 weeks to recover, but that's the latest from Cleveland. Their matchup coming up in just a matter of minutes for supremacy in the AL Central. Padres looking up at the Dodgers right now in the NL West. There's still hope that they could win the division. But right now, they trail the Brewers 2-1 in the eighth inning in San Diego. Nationals are naming Red Sox assistant GM Paul Taboni as their new general manager. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice today, while the Niners listed Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings as DNPs. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels limited, no practice for Terry McLaurin. Giants head coach Brian Daboll made their quarterback change official. First-round pick Jackson Dart will start against the Chargers. Russell Wilson will be the backup.
I met both with Russ yesterday and Jackson privately. Russ was nothing but a pro, which I would expect him to be.
Eagles placed linebacker Nolan Smith on IR with a triceps injury. Chargers running back Najee Harris officially placed on injured reserve because of that Achilles injury suffered against the Broncos. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Dan Byer.
Thanks,
and a
Dan.
great pitching matchup about to start in moments. Pittsburgh Pirates at the Reds as the Reds try to chase down the Mets, one game behind, but the Reds have the tiebreaker. You got Paul Skeens and Hunter Green tonight. So Skeens and Green, and that to me is one heck of a pitching matchup with 5 games left. So enjoy that. Enjoy all your baseball. We'll talk a little NFL before we get out of here. Maybe touch on some wild card stuff. More next. Covino and Rich.
Now we got to get into the biggest story, I think, of the weekend, or shocker, I should say. Shocker of the weekend. Everyone's Super Bowl bound Green Bay Packers lose to the Browns. That made me say, immediately. Now, let me preface my weekend real quick, Rich. Yeah. I was at the Dodgers game on Sunday, not because I like the Dodgers. I hope they lose. I'm a Yankees fan.
How
but
dare
my
you.
daughter, respectfully, Danny G., but my daughter was cheering on the field. I was so pumped about that. Her high school got to cheer on Dodger Stadium field, on the grass. I was like, that's so cool. So I was at the game, trying to watch the game, but also keeping one eye on the NFL. And I'm looking, I'm like, the Packers lost to the Browns? The Browns, arguably the weakest team, they beat the Packers. The Packers couldn't score a single point in the fourth quarter, and they let up 13 points to lose in the fourth quarter. That made me say, It makes me say, what's up with their offense? What's up with the Green Bay Packers offense where they can't score in the fourth quarter against the Browns?
I don't know. To watch that game, Might have been a different story than just seeing the box score.
You can't say Super Bowl bound and you can't beat the Browns. I'm
Listen,
sorry.
Everyone has their trip ups. It was a road game, and listen, it's why I lost my.
Still a shocker.
It's why I lost my big bet of the week. I remember I just had the Packers needing to win. We did a teaser bet.
I do love seeing Joe Flacco's excitement. Still playing for something. That's sort of their Super Bowl to win in that way. I mean, that was a nice win. For the
it was a
Browns.
trash game that the Packers should have easily won on almost a chip shot last second field goal. It's blocked. Some odd quick momentum goes the Browns' way, and I think the Packers leave Cleveland like baffled and stunned. I don't know if you felt the same way, DB. I know you're always keeping track of all the games. That game was weird all along. The Packers didn't do enough to put them away, and they let Cleveland hang around, and then just weird things happened.
Yeah, I know that Green Bay fans are smarting over the loss because you're like, how do you lose to Cleveland?
Yeah.
But really the game, as you kind of lay out, wasn't much of a game, or it shouldn't have been a game for as long as it was. So for Cleveland to score those 13 unanswered in the final 3-13 or whatever it was, you would have thought that Green Bay would have been up 20-0 or 17-0.
It's that feeling you get sometimes. You ever realize when a game, DB, is like 13-6 at halftime, and you're like, that one team with 13, they should be winning by 3 touchdowns, and they're only a touchdown up? That doesn't feel right.
But it ties into what we were saying before about your 49ers. Maybe they're not the best team, but they're finding ways to win. The Buccaneers finding ways to win, right?
They almost let that one. They almost let that one slip away.
Or a Super Bowl bound team doesn't lose like that to the Browns. They still find a way to win. So I'm not saying it's over for them, but I'm saying they need to make adjustments.
Green Bay had 14 penalties yesterday. Not that the Browns were perfect by any means, but Cleveland's got a really good defense. Offensively, they just haven't had things working, but you can't allow that team to stick around and think they have a chance. So putting up 10 points is ultimately what cost Green Bay in that scenario, because 20 would have done it for you in Cleveland. They couldn't do it.
Man, hey, just so many great storylines unfolding in the NFL, and that to me had a lot of people knocked out of survivor pools around the country. I can only imagine if people hadn't used the Packers yet and they're in some type of survival suicide pool or something. That was probably a top pick this week.
It was one of the top 5 picks. Seahawks had a lot because they were home against the Saints.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you brought them up, DB, because they're second on my list. Seahawks dominated the Saints, right? 44-13.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, the way they won this weekend, might be tops over your 49ers moving forward. Seahawks 2-1.
Listen,
49ers still undefeated, but moving forward, it's a little tougher.
Take
for
away
them.
Nick Bosa, your things look better for other teams in the NFC West.
And I'll say this, not to be that guy, but if it's not for that block kick at the end of Philadelphia, I think we are raving about the Rams today going to Philadelphia and winning that football game. So when you talk about that division, and I know you're going to get to that at some point, it's a loaded division, and it's a short week. Seahawks and Cardinals play on Thursday night in an NFC West matchup.
I think it is a better division than we think, and Dan Byer, you nailed it, because as an NFC West fan, with all due respect to our friends that are Rams fans, I very rarely root for anything Philly, but at the end there, I'm like, oh, come on, win this game, give us an L for the Rams, would help the Seahawks and Niners, and that was sort of sweet, I'll be honest. Paul Skeen just got robbed of a strikeout.
I know Rich wanted to talk some NFL, but I do have a question. Covino and Rich, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Ever wanted to try an Olympic and Paralympic sport? You got to try fencing. Fast, safe, and easy to start. You can find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. What are you laughing about?
Oh, nothing. I guess I had a dumb thought. Continue. Tell me about fencing.
Of course you did.
I guess I'm picturing Iowa
And
Sam
by the way, that's
fencing.
redundant. You're picturing
The dumb
Iowa
thought
Sam?
was me doing athletics?
Yes.
Why?
usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Right, and this isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. Hit me up with some whistling while I do this. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour.
Hey.
Don't ruin his whistling, Sam.
Sorry.
Come be a part of the legacy that never stops. Be there when history is made. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com. All right.
Can I ask you a question?
It's hard to whistle harm.
I want to ask Danny G and Sam, too.
I think I know your question.
I posed this question on our Patreon. We have a Patreon, so if you like our show, Just look up Covino and Rich. Patreon.com/Covino and Rich.
It's so much fun.
It's Rich Davis Uncensored Unleashed.
Oh, jeez.
My question is simply this. It's fall. I mentioned I want everyone to have a great fall Humpty Dumpty style. Enjoy your pumpkin spice lattes.
Do the Humpty Hump.
Enjoy the foliage. You got to bust out your new jeans. But are you investing, bro?
Stop it.
Are you investing?
Stop it.
Are you busting out a vest this season?
We were saying that this is a great thing to think about. When
I'm
you have a
talking
second.
Marty McFly, though, because they're back and big and hard. You know how
What is that, a life preserver?
Yeah. You know how the old uniform for women would be leggings and Uggs around this time of season? For men, more than ever, this season more than ever, it's that vest, bro, that life preserver vest.
This is like when the puffy jackets came
No,
back
but
like 3
Denny,
years ago.
Are you investing?
And then they disappeared like
Hold
that.
on. Let me ask Monty, who just walked in the room, which, by the way, she's throwing me off because she's got a Dodger shirt on in Padres colors. Like, what are you trying to do here?
It's
You
like
trying-
neon Dodgers.
It's not Padre colors.
This is not even sort of Padres colors. You're right. There's a little bit of a neon green.
It's like Seahawks kind of.
But it's just neon green against gray.
Okay.
I know. I just, sometimes you got to get something that's not Dodger blue.
Do you like a man in a vest? You know those puffy vests that men wear to keep their torso warm?
You know what? I do like a man in a vest.
We were just saying how it's like when
I
you
do.
think of your buddies, when
Yeah.
you think of your friends, you immediately know, is he a vest guy or not?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a weird thing. I'm sure you have similar things with your girlfriends. But
Totally.
I'm thinking, like, you name one of my buddies, I'll tell you if this guy owns a vest. And it's a weird choice because it's like
Who are
some
you,
people.
Ken Griffey on the Reds?
Some people would never wear a vest, and then
Yeah.
other people, you feel like it's if you're going out in the fall to watch football, like, yo, this guy's gonna show up at the bar with a vest.
Think about it. You got to be so proud of your guns or your sleeves.
Yeah.
Because you just need to show those arms.
Yeah.
So
But it
the
looks
vest,
good.
The vest is, I don't know, I might be investing.
But are your arms warm, but your torso's not?
I don't know. But as you bust out the fall wardrobe, I might have to invest.
You would look
Might.
good in a vest.
Yeah, I might
yeah,
have to
you
rock
would look
it.
good in a vest.
It's like keeping your core
Even with
warm.
the long sleeve under, it looks good.
And I need one now because it's extremely cold in the studio.
Oh,
right now.
I'll get you a gift
Okay,
card.
it's 90 degrees in Sherman Oaks
I'll
right
give
now.
you a.
We're not in fall at all.
I'll get you a gift card for LL Bean or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cold in the studio though. Probably because of all that equipment in there.
I
Man.
can't wait. So you might see me come in here rocking
Ooh.
it. Yeah.
You know, you can
love that.
control the thermostat. You can turn
It's
it up. If you want.
freezing in here.
Yeah,
so
I've tried to
he's
turn
right.
it up.
He's
for you.
right.
maybe a little hoodie with the vest.
I threw on a hoodie today, and it's way too hot outside for a
Yeah,
hoodie. But in the,
outside's like
in the
90.
studio,
Not inside.
I feel so comfy.
Yeah.
So what's your football question, man? Does it involve the Giants?
My football question is,
Does it involve Daniel Jones, who's added to the list of people that were written off but now are redeeming their careers?
No, it was just a question selfishly about my 49ers, but I think we all feel the same way about whether it's basketball, football, baseball, anything. There are years where your team's record isn't necessarily great, but you still feel like, yo, they're getting a raw deal. They could compete with anyone. And then there's seasons where your team's record is good, and you're like, yeah, but I don't really believe it.
Overinflated.
Like, to me, there have been years where the Niners are just, like, sneaking by, but I'm like, yo, come playoff time, they could compete with anyone. I know it. Right now, I feel like the Niners are going to win this Sunday, hosting Jacksonville. They'll be 4-0, but in my mind, I'm like, that 49ers team, Robert Saleh's got the defense looking sharp. But you think a 4-0 49ers team could still compete with the Eagles or Ravens, even like
Not
a
right
1-2
now, no.
Ravens team or something? I don't know.
There's not part of you that feels like that could be a trap game.
Against the Jacksonville Jags? Yeah. I guess you're right. But I think you got to win that because the 49ers then play the Rams and I believe the Bucs. So, hey, listen, NFL's popping. We got a big game tomorrow night as Thursday Night Football starts week 4. And what is your Thursday night game? Seahawks, Cardinals, an NFC West battle. As a Niners fan, who should I root for? Who do you think is a bigger threat to the Niners? Seahawks or Cardinals?
Probably the Hawks.
I would say
Seahawks, right?
yeah.
Cardinals, no more James Conner. And I don't know if Kyler Murray will ever be the answer there. I don't dislike him. Don't you feel like Arizona is never – I don't know. I don't think they'll be there.
I think the bigger question is, are you investing?
Are you investing, bro? Are you investing? All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.